2, 1.
He'll be back in. What, what's up, fam? It's your girl Nick. Pat over here cracking up. You better take that off your head. That take that off. Take that off. Don't even put that mess on your head. That is not what that was supposed to be. Buying something and then it come back. Let me shut up. We ain't even gonna talk this way. You can put on the other one though, because you got on black. See, we vibing, we vibing. Look at that, look at that. We didn't even talk about what we was wearing tonight.
Yeah, we didn't talk about it.
We didn't even talk about it. What's up, fam? Hey, Nick. Yes, you're on time. See, girl, you on time. You on time. And hey, Kamiko. So what's up, fam? You know, we've been talking this month about these dating streets. Pat, what you been up to before we jump into topic?
Man, let me tell you. If was a fifth. Man, you know what? And let me tell you, the reality is that, and before we even just get into the show tonight, man, let me encourage everybody that is doing love, life, family, matters of the heart. Listen, know that the most precious commodity that God has given you is time. And once it's gone, you can lose things and replace them. You stuff can break and you can buy new ones. Some of us got clothes in our closets in sizes that we'll never wear because you'll never be that small again, or get that big again. Either way,
Get rid of them.
the thing you cannot redeem is time.
No, you cannot. Time.
David asked,
Man.
David literally petitions God this way and said, to number our days and apply our heart unto wisdom. In other words, teach us to respect time. And when you really understand that you're doing love, relationships, one thing that do not let people play with your time.
Don't. Funny you should say that. That's gonna go right into our segue tonight. We talking about alignment and sex. Did you just clutch your pearl? No. You clutching your chest. Why you clutching your chest?
I'm
So
gonna get that move with the household.
Pat and I have been having some. Stop it. We have been having some interesting conversations for the past couple of weeks about just relationships and being in alignment and what happens when you're not in alignment and what happens when people start confusing the feelings from sex with being in an actual relationship, what happens when you don't know that there's a difference between, you know, like sex with someone you're in alignment with and sex you just out here sexing people. um so tonight we thought we'd talk about it since we been talking about dating in real time and people want to act like people not having sex while they out here in these dating streets. And part of the issue that people why people are having so many issues, I think, is because we're in situationships and we're having sex and we've got friends with benefits and we've got all of this other stuff. Um and we mistake it for being in real relationship. Thoughts before we dive in?
One of the things that we're definitely going to uncover tonight as Nick and I approach this very needful but sensitive subject that kisses don't mean contracts, presents don't constitute promises. And what people are going to realize is that our attitude about sexuality is the reason why we do not do relationships well. Watched an interview of a woman the other day. She said she had been married for 12 years. And she said that her husband, basically, and I'm paraphrasing, did a number on her, hurt her, broke her, the whole nine. They got a divorce. So she said, excuse me, she used her next door neighbor to scratch her itch.
Mm.
And that's the way she did. She said he was convenient, he was close because he was right next door. And she said, and that man loved me down. She said he was patient, he was understanding. She says, but he had no idea that all I was doing was scratching an itch. I had no intent on being serious with him, on committing to him, on being in a long term relationship with him. He then came to discover, and I'm dropping the mic, he came to discover that she was playing with him in a way that he did not want to be played. And she said two things happened. She missed the love of her life and fumbled this man. Now she's back out here in the world and has another one like him. But the sad thing is that because of the way she played him, she turned him into her husband. And he's now doing women what her husband did to her because she did to him what her husband did to her. She took out on him the hurt that she felt for her husband because he was willing to be patient and to love her and to deal with her scars and her brokenness. But she couldn't be honest and truthful with him that and she kept saying, all I was doing was scratching an itch. And what that simply means is I was only using him sex.
See, this is why I am a fan of being upfront about what you want, even when it is a situationship. But the problem with situationships and friends with benefits is that somebody ends up catching feelings.
Well,
Even
the
if
truth of
you
the
have,
matter is, yeah, they had feelings before. People don't like
correct,
to admit that
they had the
because let's just go and be honest. If you didn't have feelings for that person, nobody is just out here sleeping with random strangers. That is somebody that you like, that you desire, but can't have in the way that you want. And so there are two things that happen in a relationship dynamic. You have a man that will overperform thinking it will cause you to have feelings for him on a romantic level, or you'll have a woman that will be over sexual thinking it will cause him to then lean in and commit to a relationship. So at the end of the
Or
day,
you have number
this is,
three, somebody who is out here just having random sex with folks. I know people like that.
yeah,
Like,
yes, we do. But in those situations, when it keeps on, the reason why they call it a friend with a benefit is because the reality is there is an established connection before the benefit occurs. But the question
correct,
is, who's really benefiting?
neither party, because somebody gonna walk away hurt.
Somebody gonna walk away hurt.
Somebody gonna walk away hurt. Um, and you may ask what all of this has to do with being in alignment. I'm so happy you asked,
Come on, come on.
because when you're in alignment and dating, you all have a shared understanding of what your core values are, what your life goals are, what your future vision is. It's not just chemistry. It's not it alignment goes toward compatibility. The reason this is all important is because the way you approach your relationship when you are in alignment will have a direct impact on sex once you have sex. And the reason there are so many issues out here in these dating streets is because people are confusing chemistry for compatibility. People are confusing feelings. People are confusing intent. And I'm just gonna drop that for now, and then we'll come back to that. Y'all can agree to disagree with this discussion tonight, but things are a whole lot different when you approach your relationships with people who you are in alignment with.
That's
Okay, Mr.
I see.
Psychologist, you got real quiet on me.
No. I'm just in the moment. I'm with you. When you said people just out here, um, what we would just call, they would call it just having casual sex.
Mm-hmm.
Casual sex to me is the same as a person saying I'm a social drinker.
Go ahead, expound.
Okay. And we understand what a social drinker is.
Yes, we do. Hey, Tim.
So when you understand talking about casual sex relationship, the reality is that casual sex relationship can feel simple in the moment,
Mm-hmm.
but they can become emotionally, mentally, here is the cliffhanger, spiritually, and even physically complicated depending on the people involved and the expectations underneath it all. Some of us have walked away from some of these relationships with luggage that we can't take back to the store.
Well,
Some of that luggage came packed in two arms, two legs, two eyes, two ears, a nose, 32 teeth, lungs, heart, skin, veins, and 18 years worth of paying child support payments with somebody with whom you don't even like. Another one came packaged in regular doctor visits that you got to go every 6 months and keep your stress level down so that you're not having outbreaks. That you're not having. We just got to keep it above. It's the dangers. One starts more so with the emotional, what I call the emotional attachment mismatch. The emotional attachment mismatch. What's that? I'm glad you asked. That's when one person may become emotionally connected while the other person stays detached. That imbalance can create confusion, resentment, insecurity, feelings of being used, and become a danger to the next person that they will then relate to on an intimate level.
um, hmm.
I told you what it was. What you catch it? I told you what it is. In any good time, people in the house that watch Good Times. And remember when JJ was messing with the married woman Barbara, and Barbara was having the time of her life with Ernie in the bathroom, showering, coming out and slapping her on the behind, still paying her bills. She buying his brute cologne at the corner store. But JJ, meanwhile, is having pains. He's sick. He's bent over. He is stressed. He's not performing at work because he was being affected emotionally while she's just having the time of her life. That is an emotional attachment mismatch. And you don't think that there's somebody right now laying up in the bed wondering who you with, what you're doing, because you thinking it's one thing and they're thinking it's something else. And that's that person that's popping out your bushes at 4 o'clock in the morning when you on your way to work.
Well, and I will say it is just worth having a conversation up front. If you have a conversation up front and be truthful about what it is that you want, you may be able to avoid emotional attachment mismatch. If you are honest about who you are and what you are wanting from the interaction,
Can we really avoid the emotions?
we can avoid the emotional mismatch if we're honest.
We
I,
could, but we can very well be honest, but that doesn't necessarily mean that one person still won't become more emotionally connected than the other.
yeah, but it
Because
won't.
you have to understand, remember we talked about this last week. When two people are connecting intimately, that is, see, that's why I'm telling women, that's why a lot of them, I ain't submitting to no man. Every time you open your legs, you are submitting.
But that's why I'm saying if you're honest up front about what it is that you want.
Okay. But can that prevent me from still becoming attached emotionally?
No, I'm not saying that.
Yeah.
I'm saying it could potentially help you avoid the mismatch.
I got it.
If
And the only
you
reason I'm asking that question in that way is because I want people to be very clear that what you're saying is absolutely correct. Talking it out up front, being honest up front, but I still want you to understand that there are some people
mhm.
that they hope that by doing it, y'all, come on, y'all. Y'all remember the conversations when you was in high school? If you love me, you'll let me. Come on now. Come on. Yo, this is an adult show. Just let me put the head in. Come on. Just the stuff that people say when they already know what time it is with the hope that if I at least do this, you'll let me go further.
Mhm.
Because there's a truth about this when it comes down to the casuality of sexuality, is that it creates a false sense of intimacy.
Because we're only going on chemistry and not what actually keeps.
Absolutely.
You can have chemistry with somebody all day long. Um because chemistry is the emotional intensity. It's the spark. It's it's what attracted you to the person in the first place. It's just that present oof at that moment, at that very moment. Chemistry don't keep you in a relationship. What happens when chemistry dies? If you basing your relationship on just chemistry, what happens when that person no longer is attracted to you?
Because the physical closeness can most certainly initiate emotional closeness, but watch this. But people may feel bonded
Mhm.
without actually building.
Correct.
Oh God. I just said something. Write that down for me. I'm gonna them, people will feel bonded without actually building. Now, what do we need to build? Trust, commitment, communication, and what she spoke in the interim of the compatibility, which is alignment. So just because we are bonded, don't mean we're building.
You know, I was I shared a story a few weeks ago, and I told y'all that I told this person, um we are not aligned, and it went over his head.
Uh oh.
And the reason, the reason there was no alignment is because we did not believe the same things on all the points that matter to me. So when you talk about alignment and you talk about chemistry and you talk about moving the relationship forward and you talk about sex and you talk about the things that you're going to do as a couple, if it is not aligning on every point that is special to you and means something to you, then you and that person are not aligned. So you can have chemistry all day long, but at the end of the day, if we're not building in the same manner, if we don't approach life with each other in the same manner, if we don't consider each other in the same manner, if we don't be intentional about how we present ourselves to each other in the same manner, you're misaligned. So it don't really matter about the sex if I'm not aligned, because if I'm aligned with the person that I am with, sex gonna be off the chain anyway because we're aligned and we don't have to worry about other shit. I'm just saying. That's just my humble opinion.
And a lot of times, one of the deeper challenges, Nick, that people deal with is that they realize that the sex in their relationship for either one or the other party was simply a coping mechanism.
Mm. And I ain't trying to have no sex as coping mechanism because I enjoy sex
I tell people that sometimes, and there's a difference. There is a difference in being with somebody that is into it,
and into
and
you.
there is a difference in being with somebody that's into you.
I want somebody that's into me. I don't want somebody that's just into sex.
Because that is intimacy.
Correct.
Intimacy is seeing into me.
Correct.
And sometimes casual sex becomes the coping mechanism for loneliness, grief, rejection, stress, validation, fear of commitment, rather than genuinely making a healthy choice to build something substantial and worthwhile with somebody. Because the truth of the matter is, building a relationship is work.
It is.
It is work. And it ain't one of those jobs that you ain't getting a full 1K. You ain't finna get two 15-minute breaks and a 30-minute lunch. Because life is forever shifting and changing and things are happening. That's why the whole subject content of the month is dating in real time, because things are happening in the moment. And sometimes I have to make adjustments on the fly. I gotta
Correct.
do it in the moment. We ain't got time to prepare for what just happened. Okay, that thing just hit us. Okay. And either we're gonna be locked into this together, or we're going to separate and deal with it in our own identity, thinking that the other person is against me. And instead of you fighting the moment, you're fighting each other.
I just
Like you, Nick, I don't want to be no coping mechanism.
I
Don't.
don't want to be. Well, and then here's the other thing about that. The other reason I don't want to be your coping mechanism is because your happiness should not be contingent on me. Your happiness is contingent on you and the things that you do. And what happens is, because we having sex, because you're using me as a coping mechanism, then I become the fix it for whenever you have an issue. And I'm not the fix it.
I can mute you. I can mute you right now. I need to mute you. Like,
I'm
producer,
not
shut
I'm
off
not
our mic. It's
I'm
hot.
not the
Come
fix it.
on.
I'm not the fix it. I should not be the fix it. I should not be, you having sex with me should not just fix it because you having an issue in that day. And I know that that's the go-to sometimes when we having a bad day. Ooh, if I could just get my person. I'm not even talking about that. I'm saying the
Yes, that's different. That's
because it's
different.
different. I'm saying when I become your sexual fix, your coping mechanism, you're not even seeing me as the person that I am and the person that the Lord blessed you with if I'm your person. You only seeing me because you think that what I can give you sexually is the cure all for anything that you experience. I'm not your coping mechanism. But again, to me, this is why alignment is so important in relationships, because if you understood that and you understand where we are as a couple and we're pursuing the same things, you will never see me as your coping mechanism for sex. And you will
Mm,
never see the sexual experiences that we have synonymously as a coping piece.
mm.
Mm. I should be a psychologist too, huh?
Oh, Dr. Bryant Bootleg, come on here.
I'm just saying. I'm just
But
saying.
then, and here's one of the things that it breeds. And Nick, I'm glad that you even was challenged to even bring this up because I'm going to say something that a lot of people may or may not agree, but being on both sides of the coin, I can tell you that even when you have underlying issues and challenges, even in marriage, sex don't fix it.
Sex don't fix it, y'all. And
You gotta deal with heart matters. You
it,
gotta deal with what Pastor Rock. You gotta deal. You gotta have heart talks. You gotta have heart talk. That means where you're talking. What is that? Heart to heart and
hurt.
not heart to head. You gotta talk heart to heart, stripping away the part of you that is in the emotional place and seeing that person God sees them
That's why I
and
can't be
understand
sexual
that
coping mechanism.
they are perfectly imperfect.
Ooh, one of my favorite little movies is Faith, Hope, Love. It's on my little Christian network. And that is one of my favorite lines in the movie is perfectly imperfect. You have to understand that everybody is perfectly imperfect. Nobody is traveling out here perfect.
Nope, nobody.
Nobody. We are all
Nobody but you.
perfectly
What did they say in Friday? Nobody but you. Let nobody.
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 And so, but the reason
Nobody.
the reason it matters, y'all, is because when you out here in these dating streets and you just giving yourself freely to people, you are submitting sexually to these people. Both
Yes,
you
and
are,
making contracts while you're doing it.
and making contracts while you're doing it, and you don't even realize it. And the other reason the alignment piece matters so much is it will save you heartbreak. It will It will help you build trust in your relationship. It allows you not to have regrets in your relationship, and it clears the air.
which means I avoid dealing with jealousy and emotional
You avoid dealing with what?
jealousy
And
and emotional confusion.
oh, let
Why did I say thank you? Because that just you get. Why would it be jealousy? Well, somebody would say, well, if we're agreeing, where would jealousy come from? Because even when both people agree, y'all hear me, even when both people agree to keep things casual, emotions can change, expectations often shift over time. And then when you look at it, especially when consistency, affection, or exclusivity starts to develop informally, you cannot predict that the way something starts, somebody is going to all. Because here's the thing. Here's the thing. I got a brownie the other day from Luby's cafeteria. I had that brownie sitting on my. It's been sitting in my room for about a week and a half. I ain't touched it. I was looking at it. I knew that there was a day I was going to take that brownie and put it in the microwave and heat it up for about a good 30 seconds, slap a scoop of bluebell ice cream on top of it. And man, I was going to have the time of my life until I went into my son's room and discovered the package open. And the contents on the inside was gone, was distraught. I done text him at school. I'm already threatened when you get home, man, you gonna have a challenge. You better figure out, you better be like Puff Daddy and making the band. You gonna walk across the bridge and get me another piece of cheesecake. you go, you go break. You know why? Watch this. Because me looking at it, y'all better hear this as my pastor would say in the Holy Ghost. I'm looking at that brownie every day. I'm seeing its deliciousness. I'm looking at its chocolate brown topping on. I already has imagined what it's going to taste like in my mouth. And now I'm having to sit and experience somebody else enjoying what I've been looking at, wanting to have, had my mouth already full. And I knew I was going to eat it, had the place I was going to put it in, and stop is enjoying what I had a taste for. And I'm telling you, that's how people end up on first 48 because you're playing with people and the expectations change, their desires change. You're being with them over and over and over, and they're building a palate to you, a taste to you, a desire for you. And you keep telling them, but I want somebody else to keep unwrapping me and opening my wrappers and enjoying my content because I'm going to be honest with you, even though he was my son, our relationship didn't have no bearing on my anger when I realized that what I've been wanting to eat was gone.
so I'm gonna give y'all a dating story.
Just talk about a brownie and a credit a lot.
We talk about brownies. We talk about dates. I know that brownie hurt your feelings. I know it hurt your feelings. I know it did. Okay, but let me bring this home. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, because y'all might have a lady that has said this to you. Okay,
Gentlemen.
prior to my current relationship, I was out in these dating streets, and I had met this wonderful gentleman, really smart, outgoing. We had a lot in common. Um, it wasn't just chemistry. We had a lot in common. We were aligned on all the points that mattered, but he just wanted to keep it light. He
Mm.
wanted to keep it light. So when you out here in these dating streets and these people say they just want to keep it light, that's kind of like this brownie situation. They want all the benefits, They want everything you have to offer. They want to taste you. They want to experience you. They want to, however you
It,
want to put it. They want to experience you without the confines of being in an exclusive relationship. That did not work for me. And I was very upfront with this gentleman and told him that's not going to work for me. And so at the point where I started seeing the person that I am now seeing, I told this young man, I can no longer see you. We can't spend time together. We can't hang out. We can't do nothing because in your quest to keep it light, you have opened the door for somebody else to be exclusive. And he did not understand that. He was not in the emotional place to have an exclusive relationship. He was not healed enough to be in an exclusive relationship. But then the expectation was whenever he wanted to see me, he thought he could still call me and we could still go out, hang out, dinners, whatever. And I'm like, dude, that ship has sailed. I'm in a relationship.
he didn't understand that for you, which is another component of it, it creates for you because of your value system,
Correct.
spiritual and moral conflict. And
Correct.
a lot of people don't realize that that's what happens. In many cases, it creates spiritual and moral conflict because you are a person with strong values and faith convictions. So for you, Nick, casual sex ain't gonna do.
No.
Uh, hit me when you hit me ain't gonna do. And you and I both watched the KW skits, and just for what they call that copyright infringement. I don't want to ever say names, but
Mhm.
we both are in the skits, and it's and Glow. Just like she's in the back of the car, she's in the back of the building, she meeting strangers in the club and just bringing people home. But you supposed to be in a committed relationship, and every time the guy says he wants more, she says, "Hey, you know what it is. You knew what it was. You know what it is." And then sometimes it is that feeling of being disconnected from your own belief system, from
Mhm.
your own value system. And when you suffered in the way that you have, and I've suffered in the way that I have, meaning the things that we have gone through in our lives. I even said this today to Katina. I said, just because I no longer want to repeat things that I've been through in my past, don't mean I'm not healed from it. I'm healed from it, but that don't mean I want to repeat it.
Mhm.
Just, just, just because I'm healed, don't mean just because I'm a strong person, don't mean I want to walk around with 200-pound weights in my hand all day long just because I'm strong. And for some strange reason, we think that just because people are emotionally strong or spiritually strong, okay, we just gonna keep throwing and dumping stuff on them and just let them carry. No, no, no. I'm healed, but just because I'm healed, don't mean I just want somebody in my life to continue to keep hurting me and breaking me and using me and taking advantage of me and misrepresenting their reason for being in my life. That doesn't mean that I am unhealed. I'm very much so healed, but I just don't want to keep repeating those things in my past that has broken me and damaged me and caused me to be on life's highway waiting for a tow truck to pull me out the ditch. So
Well,
you, man, just have spiritual values, moral convictions, and you're saying, no, I want something different, and I'm not settling for anything less than what I want.
and then you also have to realize, guys, that when you heal, your healing is not going to let you go back.
If you heal, come on, if you heal, it won't let you go back.
If you are really healed and if the Lord really healed you and delivered you from something, it's not going to let you go back. It's
We
not.
talking about sirens going off. bells chiming and ringing.
Yo,
Alarms is ringing.
oh,
No, we
it's
ain't
gonna be
gonna
like,
ignore them flags.
Are you sure? Are you sure? Ding, ding, ding. Those flags keep coming. Those flags will alert you. Those flags will let you know. You know that little voice that keep nagging you about this person that you keep being on the fence about. That's the alarm. So ask yourself this: do you want a relationship or a hookup?
Ooh.
Ponder that for a second. Do you want a relationship or do you just want to hook up? And so when you're thinking about, am I aligned with this person? If you are in true alignment with this person that you are considering, it wouldn't even present itself as a hookup. It wouldn't present itself as a friend with benefits. It wouldn't present itself as a situationship. It wouldn't present itself as let's just keep it light. Do you want a
And
relationship or do you want to hook up?
hookup. And here is something that you better understand about them hookups. Them hookups creates patterns. And when you understand patterns, Nick, how many times you hear me say, and patterns are undefeated?
Listen,
Patterns, some of us think that we're choosing, and you're really not choosing. It's patterns that's already chosen for you. And what it creates is a difficulty for you to build long term connections. In some cases, constantly separating sex from commitment because they're supposed to kind of go together. Just in case for those of you who don't know it, it's kind of supposed to be the commitment is the cake, sex is the icing. And a lot of us is walking around here, oh, high calorie diets because you just eating a spoonful of icing, but you ain't getting the substance of the cake because the cake got all the ingredients and the stuff. Okay, but a lot of people, if those who are able to separate sex from commitment, it does this right here. Those people, they're able to also separate commitment from vulnerability, commitment from trust, commitment from patience and emotional investment, which makes it harder for you to commit in future relationships. Because even though you were successful, because don't think that every casual relationship automatically means it's destructive. Some of them work. Because that's all you want, that's all he want, that's all she want. And some adults enter them knowingly and without regret. But there is a danger that comes when intentions are unclear, when emotions needs are denied, when your boundaries are weak, and someone hopes the relationship becomes something deeper without honest communication. And this then builds those patterns where people end up in those cycles. And just in the moment when you want to be serious with somebody, patterns will speak.
patterns speak. The other thing is, does this person want the same thing as me? If y'all don't want the same things, you're not aligned. And do you want to be giving yourself sexually to somebody who don't want the same things as you?
That's good.
Um, will I feel sad tomorrow if we do this today? So am I gonna be feeling sad because I had sex with this person today? Am I gonna be feeling sad? Am I gonna be feeling okay? Am I going to regret having sex with this person?
Because truthfully, Nick, whether it is casual or serious, it still requires honesty.
Mm-hmm.
It still requires mutual respect. Oh, here's one. I'm going to drop it. Emotional responsibility.
Mm.
and a clear expectation. I teach my children this. I teach my children this. Sex is not for adults. Oh, I know. Wait a minute. I just lost half the crowd. Come back. Come back. I know. But grown people, no, no, no. Hear what I'm about to say. Sex is not for adults. Sex is for mature people. And the reality is, there are some people that I know that are not mature enough to be having sex.
Well, the
You're
find a mature
grown.
person.
You're grown by every definition, age, the number on your license. You like my boy. I was born in the night. You was born. You got everything checks off. You are grown in every aspect except your mind, and you are not emotionally responsible, and
Mm,
you are a danger to anybody that you lay down with.
mm, mm. Wait. Back up. You said emotional responsibility.
Yes. And I even told some ladies at the store one day, I said, even if you gonna date, and I'm gonna drop this on the Nick and Pat combo. If you gonna date in real time in 2026, can you please date with bird sense? Somebody said, what's bird sense? I'm glad you asked. When a bird is ready to mate, what that bird is going to do when the male is seeking her attention, the female bird grabs something, an object, flies in the air, and she drops it. It's a ritual. The male bird then has to catch the object before it hits the ground, which shows her one, he's responsible. He's not lazy. Watch this. Then the female bird takes something that would be equivalent to the weight of a baby bird. And then she flies up in the air and she drops it. And the male bird that wants to mate with her has to catch it before it hits the ground. He then says to her that if we had offspring, I would be a responsible father. Then the female bird takes something that is the weight of her own body and she flies high up in the air and drops it. And he has to catch it before it hits the ground, which that communicates that though I am responsible and though I could be a good provider, he's saying if you can't catch me if I fall, it's an automatic deal breaker. And there are too many women out here hooking up with men that can't catch you if you fall.
If we not talking about your physical catch you,
We ain't talking about your physical. Absolutely.
we
We
not
talking about
talking
he
about
can't catch
mentally.
you mentally. He can't even have a conversation with you without saying, and you know what I'm saying, and and it be like, I called, yeah, like, listen, seriously, let me just tell you the mentality of people today. Y'all, I called the store tonight and I asked them, I said, is your business center still open? A young lady said, yes. I said, I just want to know, do you have a notary on site? She said, where do I find it? I said, huh? I said, a notary. She said, oh,
Why
would
you
it
just
be,
didn't tell me I can notarize through DocuSign and Zoom?
you know what? We're going to get it done. Hold on just a minute. I'm glad you asked. I need my daughter something notarized in just a minute. I'm glad you asked. So, so the thing is that, yay, okay. so, so the thing is, she didn't even know what a notary was. She had to put me on hold and get another person on the phone. They was like, when I said a notary, we were both laughing. She was like, oh no, no. She said, we don't have a notary.
Lord have
I
mercy.
said, where do you find it? I called Kroger. So she's thinking that a notary is something in the store that you go get off the shelf. She said, where do you find it?
Just
And some of
FYI,
us,
if y'all
you're
need
dealing
notary
with
services,
people that can't hit you intellectually, emotionally, spiritually. And here's a big component financially.
listen. I
Young
listen.
grown folk need to have their basics together.
Y'all do. That see, that's why we have been spending the first part of this year talking about getting your shit together. Spiritually, emotionally, financially. Y'all, y'all out here in these dating streets and you get mismatched with people that can't even meet you intellectually. That's part of being in alignment. Like
Absolutely.
my friends used to tease me because I would tell them, if you don't have me intellectually, you will never get me sexually. Like,
Can you say roll that? Can you roll the tape back? Like,
if you don't get me intellectually, you will never get me sexually.
like,
You got 3 times for the Holy Ghost. If you don't get me intellectually, you will never get me sexually.
and the doors of the church is open. There are ways to give on the screen. If this message has been a blessing to you, we ask that you sow a tangible seed so that we can do kingdom business. There is no size that we are asking for because it all is going toward a worthy and a great cause. Jesus stood at the table because he wanted to not watch what they gave, but the posture of the heart in which they gave. Don't allow God to see you in a position you should not be in, being selfish with that he has blessed you with. What God has given you by grace, give it back to him by faith. And we thank you for joining us on tonight's broadcast. Be blessed, and we'll see you again.
Stupid.
Something wrong with this Negro.
Oh Jesus. But no,
That's what's up. That's what's up.
because what happens when the physical goes? What happens when y'all
Nothing.
get out the house? What happens when I
Nothing.
mean it
We have nothing. We have nothing. We're stuck. And then you sit on the side of the bed at 2 in the morning singing that song, looking over at them breathing, and they sleep like they got sleep apnea and need a CPAP machine. How did you get here? Nobody's supposed to be here.
because at the end of the day, at the end of the day, um, you have to know that alignment is everything. Alignment is your personalities, your values, your the physical attraction, the intellectual attraction, the how we are building this together. All of that is in alignment. And
Yes,
if
ma'am.
you are not in alignment with your partner, you just I mean, you opening yourself up for danger when it comes to sex anyway. So why have sex with somebody you're not aligned with? All right.
Wow.
We'll see y'all next week. We'll see y'all next week. We gonna drop the mic right there. Peace.
You did your one too, girl.